Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax TV. Remember when Obama said the Cambridge, Massachusetts police behaved stupidly? Oh, we do. Since that day, the Democrat Socialist Party has been on some sort of jihad against our police and the United States. America isn't systemically racist, but left-wing extremists are. That's the truth we dispense in tonight's preamble. Joe Biden declared that the nation he allegedly leads, the United States, is a systemically racist nation. That is a lie. I know the vast majority of you are out there saying, I'm not racist. I've never been a racist. I know that. You know that. To be honest, folks, left-wing extremists know it too. They don't call you a racist because it's true. They call you a racist because they think you'll give up your rights more quickly to spare yourself the pain from them calling you a racist. But sadly, the majority of the press is committed to perpetuating that lie I just mentioned. So they asked Jen Psaki, spokesmouth for Biden, hey, since old Joe has been in government for a half century in America, what culpability does he have in making America the racist nation he claims that it is? See if you guys hear an answer to that question.
To what extent does President Biden acknowledge his own role in systemic racism, and how does that inform his current policy positions?
Well, I would say that one of the president's core objectives is addressing racial injustice in this country, not just through his rhetoric, but through his actions.
I don't know that I heard an answer there from you, Jen. I know it's tough when the party of Jim Crow, the Democrats, have to answer for their past actions, like passing laws that disproportionately jail people of color. Yeah, good thing Trump came along and cleaned up old Joe's mess, huh? Now, you'd think that Team O'Biden would have learned their lesson from Obama sticking his big foot in his bigger mouth when he trashed law enforcement without knowing all the facts. Sadly, they didn't learn. Here's Jen Psaki seeming to indict a white police officer in Ohio who saved at least one black life by shooting an armed attacker. Listen.
The killing of 16-year-old Michaela Bryant by the Columbus police is tragic. She was a child. We're thinking of her friends and family and the communities that are hurting and grieving her loss. We know that police violence disproportionately impacts Black and Latino people in communities, and that Black women and girls, like Black men and boys, experience higher rates of police violence. We also know that there are particular vulnerabilities that children in foster care like Michaela face.
The actual response, folks, should have been, we should wait for the investigation. Badge cam video captured the moments when police responded to a call. When officers arrived, black and white police officers, by the way, a fight had already broken out. It was then that Michaela Bryant, a 16-year-old girl, raised what appeared to be a butcher knife to stab another black girl. The white officer responded by shooting Michaela and saving the life of at least one, perhaps two other black people. But did Biden's White House thank this officer? No. Instead, they decided that suggesting he did something wrong would work to their political benefit. You know, tar and feather the white police officer. It seems that Biden's White House would have preferred that the officer have kept his weapon holstered and allowed the stabbing and potential death of one or perhaps two black people. I guess according to Team Biden, not all black lives matter. But those in the Biden White House were not the only stupid people condemning a white officer for saving black lives. King LeBron of the communist NBA, he weighed in on a now deleted tweet. LeBron James posted a picture of the white police officer with the threatening words, quote, "You're next. Hashtag accountability," end quote. Apparently, LeBron James is just as clueless as the Biden White House, but that's not surprising to me. LeBron and Biden, they have a lot in common. Their mental acuity, for example, their love of the inhuman communists in China, their ignoring China's real systemic racism in favor of bashing America's imaginary systemic racism. The good news for LeBron, his message that basically says Black Lives Matter sometimes, will not be evaluated by Twitter to see if it comports with their community standards or lack thereof. Twitter is refusing calls for them to do so. Imagine this. What if the white officer chose to do nothing and allowed Michaela Bryant to stab and potentially kill other black people? Well, we all know what would happen, right? LeBron James and the Biden team would have done the same thing, bashed the white cop. That's because LeBron and Biden really don't care about black lives. They care about using the fable of systemic racism to empower government. That's because the unscrupulous left has declared war on our protectors. They have an agenda in doing this. They wish to destroy our constitutional protections by declaring our entire system of government illegitimate because it's racist. And don't take my word for it. Listen to Biden's UN ambassador trashing our country to the approving ears of despots, dictators, and thugs around the world.
On the international stage, that I have personally experienced one of America's greatest imperfections. I've seen for myself how the original sin of slavery weaved white supremacy into our founding documents and principles.
See, their target is the founding document that protects you from government totalitarianism. Leftists will tell you that your free speech, your right of self-defense, your right to gather in religious circles, your right against warrantless searches and seizures, it's all white supremacy. Hell, they're already saying correct math and English is racist, an example of white supremacy. Now, how do we stop this? First, learn to see through their nakedly evil plans. Open the eyes of your friends and family and work to make sure these people are never in power over us again. Insist on voting integrity reforms in your state and fight for the rights guaranteed you under the Constitution. Those liberties are every American's birthright. Our nation's police officers help keep those rights in place for all of us. But if they're constantly attacked by Marxist-Leninists for doing the right thing, this country won't have anyone willing to wear the badge anymore. I'm forced to wonder what LeBron James would want from a white police officer if one of LeBron's family members was being attacked by an assailant with a knife. Would LeBron want the white officer to allow the knife attack to happen? Hey, LeBron, you might want to take it easy on our nation's cops. One of them might save your life or the life of someone you love someday. But if you keep up your ill-informed tweets, maybe one of them won't.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.